Hey everybody, I'm Monty, and Channel 5 is reporting that President Teddy Roosevelt, was blind in his left eye from a boxing match when he was younger.
I had no idea.
I didn't know that either.
Not a clue. Hey everyone, I'm Tiff. Channel 5 is reporting that only female mosquitoes bite. I don't know.
I can say some things about that. I'm gonna leave it alone.
And I felt it. I felt it coming. I don't necessarily like it. I feel attacked as a woman, but you know, whatever.
That's very interesting fact. Interesting fact, guys.
I guess.
What's up? We're back, Channel 5 here in the building, and we've got some things to talk about. We got so much to talk about. We might divide this up into two, but we need to kind of hit on some of the pressing things of the day. That's why we do the show. And as of today, as of right now, there was a ruling in the Britney Griner case. Britney Griner, of course, is a WNBA star who plays for the Phoenix Mercury, I believe. And she also plays overseas, which is a lot of female basketball players do. And she has been jailed in Russia for a while based on trying to leave the country. And they found basically vape material. Now, I don't vape, so I don't know exactly. I have it too, but
I think it was the cartridges. The vape cartridges is what she was caught with. And we talked about this on an earlier show when this first happened, you know, and they were detaining her. But what we've now learned is the sentencing.
Yes. The sentencing is 9 years, 9.5 years in jail that they've sentenced her to, Russia has, for what they call drug smuggling. Now, there's a lot of more things to this than just that. There's a whole lot of political posturing going on right now. There are maybe negotiations with the US to free 1 or 2 Russian prisoners, to swap some things like that. There's also belief that this is not even a shot to Britney Griner's legal team. They knew this was coming, and this is part of the process that she, you know, to even if she's going home, she first had to be sentenced for stuff to happen, per se. But on the surface, let's talk about that first. What are your thoughts initially when you heard that today from the case?
You know what? I'm glad the legal team saw this coming, because I did not. Okay, I wouldn't have imagined for a second that they would have given her that amount of time, you know, for this. Okay, now we understand that in the United States, in a lot of places, you know, these things are legal, right? So we get that, but she was out of the country. So, you know, I understand the reason for detaining her. What we've been so upset about is the fact that they had her for so long, right? Yes. It's like, send her home, honestly. But my initial reaction to the sentencing, I was shocked, to say the least. 9.5 years is excessive. It is very excessive. And I do not believe that the punishment fits the crime. I really do not.
See,
there's no way.
That's a great point there, because let's understand something. I saw the footage of her taking her bag to the baggage check. Britney Griner had no idea. She obviously forgot that was in her. Look, it wasn't like she was smuggling drugs to sell them to the US for money. It was so, and people have done that. You know, people have unfortunately done it with guns. You know, you got a gun in your bag, you forgot. This was not some sort of sneak. It's not even enough to even, for like, sometimes when you get caught in the US, depending on how much you have, they'll call that distribution.
It was personal use. It was personal use.
So it's totally, now again, I listened to some podcasts today and got word on game, but when I first heard the 9 years, I was like, this is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's first of all ridiculous that they detained her, and no one knew she was detained for about a month. First of all, no one said anything, and they've had her this long. This is just absolutely ridiculous. Again, the problem is Russia is at war.
Yes.
And so that's just the bad timing of this too, because a lot of people are like, well, this person, what about this? A lot of people that they named, there weren't wartime things, and it's Russia, and it's all this stuff. So there's just, it's a lot, I guess, a lot of political posturing right now. Russia's really trying to grandstand her. And that's why, honestly, see, we talked like I think last time about if this was somebody else, would they been freed? But honestly, I think Russia is enjoying this very much. I don't like if they had LeBron, I think they'd be doing this thing. They're loving this grandstanding, like they're showing her walking back. I was like, this is just so exciting.
Yeah, I don't doubt that they're enjoying it, but now my thing is, when it comes to if it was another player, if it was LeBron, let's just say, it's not that Russia would not be doing what they're doing. I think the effort on the United States part,
that's fair,
would have been, they would have made much more effort as far as trying to, get Russia to release, LeBron or whomever, if it was a man per se. So I still stand on the fact that she has those 2 strikes against her. Not only is she Black, but she is a woman, and I think that still plays a part in it. Yes, it's a huge political fight, if you will. And I know that, there's been talks about if Trump was in the office, he would have gotten her out. Well, we found that to be false, because he just recently made a statement and basically said she's a criminal, she deserves what she's getting, whatever. So he doesn't care either way, president or not. He doesn't care either way. So let's just put that out there. But I do believe that there would have been, a greater effort had this been a man, or another player, that we would have made a greater effort as far as getting her back over to the US.
I definitely agree with you on our side. Yeah, that for us, because again, even when we found out she was detained, it was just not a lot you heard from Washington. It's like, yo, are we checking this out or what's going on? The Russian side is their side, but our side, I most definitely agree with you on that.
Russia is going Russia. We can expect Russia to Russia.
Russia
yeah, they're gonna do that.
And honestly, that's still kind of the scary part of this, though, too. I mean, technically, they don't have to let her go. That's kind of what scares me with this, is that, listen, Putin, man, this is not like some senator in Kentucky where you can strong arm, like, listen, you say something against Putin, you can end up you can disappear over there. Like, he's a very dangerous man. So until I really prayerfully see Britney Griner back on US soil, and let me say this. I've been seeing a lot of this. If that was somebody else, Britney Griner wouldn't even care. No, see, Britney Griner is one of the most outspoken, I call her activist if you will, but fighters for justice. Now, of course, if your cousin Boudreaux was over there, if she don't know, I mean, that's one thing. The way the WNBA has rallied around her, it's their own. And I feel like if there was another player there, Britney Griner would be out in the front. She's already spoken before about injustice. I'm getting sick of that narrative right there. That's such a
so am I.
Like that's so look at people, like, just stop. She's already put herself out there for a lot of injustices as well. So I'm really hoping this gets resolved. Very much hoping for it to be returned. I'm very excited, though, not excited, but I'm very encouraged by the WNBA, because they're really keeping this relevant. A lot of their stars are, they steal the BG shirts and bring BG back and all that. And I'm sure she's supported by that too, but it's still an ongoing thing. And, again, 9 years, that's absolutely,
it's a lot. That it's overkill, honestly. And what gets me too is just like, okay, we'll let our Russian prisoners out and y'all can have her. No, 9.5 years then.
Right. That's so.
Yeah.
And the thing is, though, I watched a special. It was called Locked Up Abroad. And now these cats, first of all, these guys, some friend of a friend says, we'll fly you to this country and you can come out here and have a time. And all you can do is pick up a package, right? The guy tells the one story. He says, yeah, they flew us out. He's like, them first 2 days, we're at the resort. It is amazing. He says, this guy comes. He's like, you know the guy that sent you out? He's like, yeah. He's like, okay, come with us. He says, we get hoods put over our face. He said they sold cocaine vests onto our body. Like, we could not get them out. Like, he's like, we don't know what's going on. Sold them on. And so when we got caught with, like, he's like, it was like 20 pounds of cocaine. Those dudes got like 8 years for that. And
Yeah.
it doesn't
And we're talking about cocaine.
cocaine.
Yeah.
And cocaine.
Yeah.
So hopefully we're gonna get better news soon for the Britney Griner situation. So we're gonna stay with crime and punishment.
Justice. Yeah. Speaking of justice. Yeah.
Yeah. This story here. See, okay, for everybody that's like, well, you know what, Britney Griner shouldn't have broke the law. Okay, keep that same energy. Keep that same energy for this story here.
Yeah.
Emmett Till's accuser, they have found her, Carolyn Bryant Donham. Now, there's a warrant that was issued that they also found from, I don't know how, do you remember what the article said?
Don't remember how long ago it was.
Like,
no.
Somebody found a warrant way back.
And apparently she's been out of sight, for, a numerous amount of years. She's been gone. No one has spotted her. No one, allegedly has known where she's been until recent times.
Right.
She's 88 years old.
88 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Again, and so yeah, arrest warrant for woman who accused Emmett Till found nearly 70 years later in a court basement. And so there are people who are like, okay, we got the warrant, go get her. Okay. Because she's already spoken on the record when what she said was false.
Yes.
And I mean, if you don't know the Emmett Till story by now, you're living under a hole. I don't know how you wouldn't, but basically he was a young boy that they accused of trying to maybe hit on a white woman or accost a white woman. These two men went to his house, to his grandfather's house. He's from Chicago. This happened down south. They picked him up, they beat him, killed him. His mother famously had an open casket for the funeral. The whole world saw it. It helped to start the civil rights movement. And so there are people who are like, go get her.
Yeah.
And there are other people like, oh my goodness, she's just an old woman now. Everything's past. Let it go. Let it go. Let's let the past be the past. Let me get your thoughts just on the sentiment of let it go past. And
there is no letting it go. There is no letting it go. There's no such thing. We are talking about one of, if not the most gruesome murders in history, in American history. Are you kidding me? There is no such thing as letting it go, okay? The family, the mother has suffered. We, as American people, have suffered. And this is something like, I think I told you this before, when I visited Washington, D.C., they have African-American History Museum, which happens to be one of my favorite museums. I can stay there for hours. As a matter of fact, I was there for 3 hours and I was unable to even see everything that the museum had to offer. However, what I did see was the Emmett Till exhibit, okay? As I'm walking up to see the exhibit, there is an older, Caucasian man, probably in his 60s or 70s, early 70s, and he is sitting down and he is literally weeping. Okay. Everyone that is coming out of there is weeping. What makes this particular exhibit so special, if you will, is that they actually have Emmett Till's actual casket. Wow. It is his real casket. Okay. They have done, there is a wax figure that they made to look like Emmett Till in the casket. It is really heavy to see. And going in there and seeing that, I just remember crying so much. There is no letting it go. Okay. I don't care how old she is. Okay. If she got 1 foot on earth and the other one on listen, go get that lady. She did the crime. She purged herself. She admitted that she did that. It was because of her statement that all of this happened. Let her spend the rest of her days in prison. Go get her.
See, here's my real issue. She didn't even admit to lying until like 50-some, 60 years. She just kind of admitted, you know what, I mean, that really, I remember when I heard that, I got so upset.
Yeah.
Because like you said, for me, as a kid, hearing the civil rights thing and all that, Emmett Till story stuck with me like no other story. With everything that happened, Medgar Evers, Martin Luther King Jr., all that, like I never forgot seeing that picture of Emmett Till and that story. I've never forgotten one detail about it. We used to watch
Absolutely.
this thing in school. They showed the trial and his grandfather pointed the guy. It's Emmett Till should be an old man right now.
Yes.
He should have some grandkids and some stuff like that. Ain't right. And like you said, listen, they've gone after these war criminals like that. They've went back, they found them old Nazis, they found, all these old, these people from these other, countries that have done. I'm sorry, like if there's a legal warrant, then pursue that warrant and let
Absolutely.
justice
Execute
prevail.
the warrant. Go get grandma and put her, let her spend the rest of her days.
Because like you said, this all happened because of her.
Yes.
This whole chain reaction, you started this, and I see. I don't even want to, because I remember like them after the verdict, how happy they were and hugging and laughing and all that. No, that ain't. We ain't forgot none of that. We ain't letting that go.
No.
Absolutely not. So, we'll see if justice prevails in that. But that's why I said all of that. All Britney Griner.
Yeah, keep that energy.
Yeah. Okay. Keep that same energy.
Please.
That's the junk. That's that stuff I don't like. I don't like that. Selective justice y'all be doing.
Just even talking about it right now makes me so emotional. Like I'm getting teary-eyed just thinking about it. Honestly. Yeah.
Okay. So, all right, we're gonna transition to our third story of the day. Let me just, you know what? I'm gonna let Tiff start because Tiff, what are your thoughts? You and a young gentleman are out to dinner.
Mm-hmm.
He has invited you.
Okay.
And you have a look, get whatever you want. It's not like you restricted on the menu. You get whatever you want.
Run it up.
He don't just get water with a side of ice cubes. He gets what he wants. The check comes. He says, "Thank you, waiter or waitress." He grabs the check, and you see out of his wallet comes a Visa gift card. Boop, boop, puts it in there, gives it to the waiter, comes back, signs for it. Let's go. Do you have a problem with a date paid for with the gift card?
Okay. So this has been a conversation. Okay.
Sure it has. Yes.
I will say what it's not even a general consensus. Okay. I think this is just a few misguided women, okay, that are that have an opinion on this. So I will say what the opinion is, and then I'll give you my perspective. So what is being said is that if a man pays with a gift card on a date, that he's broke. He got to be broke. Who does that? Why would you ever do that? They front up their faces. The comments are going crazy. The way that I see it, I don't care how he pays, okay? As long as he pays. Can I get my steak Oscar style is all I have to say about the situation, right? I don't really see anything wrong with that, honestly. It spins, right? It's a Visa gift card, whatever it is, he's paying for it. Now, I was asking a few people just their perspective and how they thought and how they felt about this. And someone today brought up a good point. If he got a gift card, okay, he more than likely, got it during Christmas time from his grandma, and that lets us know as women that, he close to his grandmama and he is a family-oriented man, and we should appreciate that is what I got, from that. And I said, you know what? That's a good point. You know what I mean? That's a good point. But the bottom line is, if you have a gift card, you gotta spend it somewhere.
Go ahead. Yep.
You gotta spend it somewhere. Who cares where? Visa gift cards are good anywhere that Visa is accepted. And if we are at the steakhouse and you want to use your gift card to pay for our date, so be it. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
Now, coming from a male perspective,
okay,
and Channel 5, and we'll keep it a buck, coming from a man who has used a gift card on a date. I have done it before. Unrepentant,
Which
I
was
wasn't
my question. I wanted to know. I was going to say, have you paid for a date with a gift card?
like, I didn't even think twice about it. And you know what? It's crazy you said that last part. I think I did get it on Christmas. And so I was like, bet, dude, yeah, cover the whole thing, appreciate. Like, I
Yeah.
had no qualms about it. I'm like, hey, knock it out. The best meal I ever had, I went to, it's in the Mandalay Bay. I went to Foundation Room on the Mandalay Bay. I got that from winning a contest that, shout out Food Baron, my man. He entered me in a contest. I didn't even know he entered me. He's like, yo, I'm putting you in this contest, whatever, dude. A week later, he's like, bro, you won like a bunch of money to go eat at this spot. I said, let's go. We went, me and my date, and we ate like kings, and it was October 4th. I was see why we gotta mess stuff up. Like, well, why can't we just
What is wrong with it?
like
My only, if I would be upset if the check came and he didn't even look like he was gonna pay.
see,
That's what would make me mad.
okay.
Yeah.
Some of the stories that I've heard, first of all, fellas, let me just say this. You don't invite a woman, you invite her. And then it's let's go Dutch. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm sure.
Who is Dutch? I don't even know where she live at. I don't even understand that.
And that's like the crazy thing is like women are like, okay, bro, if you would have told me ahead of time, that's what you want. That's one thing. And I can decide if I want to do it or not. But I'm talking about like the check coming, like, all right, so you had the crab bites and
that's
then
crazy.
That
is crazy.
She's there because you asked her to come. My guy, you have to like this dating thing is crazy now.
It really is. It really. I think I think it's a generational thing. Like
it's gotta be.
Like I have never in my life heard Dutch dating suggested so much as I have in these recent times, and I'm like, is that real? I got and some of these older people are getting influenced by the generation.
Apparently,
I have a tiff tail.
Oh yeah.
So
gather around, kids. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. So there was a gentleman that I dated when we were younger in high school. I dated him, and during high school, we were the same, age range. During high school, I mean, I didn't want for nothing, not a bag of Doritos, not a nothing. He bought me everything, right? During this time. I mean, everything. Whatever I wanted, he would do it. He went to an all boys private school and he would leave school, come bring me food. I mean, I don't ever remember spending $1 as long as I dated this man, okay? Young man at the time, now old man, okay, asked me out on a date within recent times. He's like, Tiffany, it's been such a long time. How about we go on a date? And I said, well, yeah, if you're here, I don't mind that. Or if I go to California, whatever, that's not a problem. It'll be good to see you. We can link up. Yeah, fine. Date is fine. His next thing in my messages, it took everything up in me not to block him after this. He said, how did you want to do it? Did you want to go Dutch? I said, what? What are you talking about? I was 16 years old and you were buying me everything. And now here we are at this big age and you're going to tell me how we want to do. You want to go Dutch. If you don't get up out of my messages, goodbye, sir. No. And now we're not going on a date at all. Bye.
That is so. I don't know what happened to us. I really do not know.
Yeah. What happened? Where did we go wrong?
Like I brought that up because I could. First of all, I was so shocked how many women got the Dutch proposal at the table. So I'm like, okay, that's crazy. But I'm sorry, I've never gone Dutch. Now, I
would be like this. If somebody did that to me, I would be calling you on the phone while I'm sitting at the table. Monty, this man, took me out of the date. You ain't gonna believe this.
I've never. Now, I dated someone that, there were times where she was like, no, I'm gonna pay. basically let you know that, I mean, we had went out a bunch of times. It wasn't like, but which I, you know, every once in a while, fellas, hey, I'm like, bet, more breadsticks, please. But the concept of that is crazy. And so I don't know what to tell folk, you know, gift cards is messed up. The you can't do that. I mean, these guys it's just like the mentality where people feel like, you know, okay, you know, let's talk about the last thing real quick. Okay, we had a bonus story. Let's talk about this bonus. Okay. Now, see, I'm first of all I'm gonna just go Big Mama. I'm gonna go church mother right here. But this story we're talking about could be avoided if y'all stop clowning out here. First of all, we're gonna say at the beginning, if you do things the right way, this story would not even be a story.
Come on.
But here's a story that's also popping up with this, is that these guys are flying women out. So now you're in, let's say, Houston, and she's in Philly, and you're flying the girl out to Houston to see you, and then whining and dining her, but then she doesn't want to do anything physical with you. And then now there's a debate in social media where who's wrong. Okay, again, so maybe if y'all do things the right way, we could just not even worry about this, but let's entertain this for a second.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so here we are. Yeah. Just like you said, if we did things the way that they should be doing, this would not even be a conversation. However, realistically speaking, it is a conversation. Okay, so I will say this. I always got a story to tell. Okay. But okay, so I'm gonna say this. One day, when you hanging out, I'm gonna have to show you. I have an obscene amount of messages. Okay, from and when you're friends on social media, you're friends with people everywhere. You know what I mean? And some people some people you don't, right? So I have an obscene amount of messages of men offering to fly me out. Okay. Hey Tiffany, when are you gonna let me fly you out here? When are you gonna let me fly you out here? Blah, 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 all of this, right? And I decline. And the reason why I decline is because I believe that if they're flying, and women, let me just say this. You are not obligated to do anything you don't want to do.
Absolutely.
Let's just say that. Okay. No, I don't care what.
I'm gonna hit that in a minute. Go ahead.
You are absolutely not obligated to do anything you do not want to do. I don't care if he flew you out or not. Okay. However, the reason why I decline more often than not is because in my mind, I believe that they are doing that for a reason, right? They have an expectation of me once I get there. Now, I don't have to comply with that expectation, right? However, just the fact that it's expected, especially when you don't know me, right? We don't have a rapport, there has been no conversations, you don't know me, and that's it, like, when you gonna let me fly you out? Okay, so there's an expectation there. And so because of that, I'm not going. However, for the girls that do, if you accept that invitation and you get flown out, or like the young girlies want to say, you got flued out, okay, and you decide, more than likely, highly likely, there is that expectation there, right? He's flying you there for a reason, and especially he's spending his money. He bought the ticket. He's whining. He's dining you. Yes, maybe he does feel like you owe him something. Okay. However, it is up to you if you decide to comply or not. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do, but I do believe that expectation is there for sure.
No, so again, let me hit that. I'm gonna say something right now. Again, ladies, I would highly advise to do not do that. Do not take that trip. Do not get flown out by anyone. That is just such a crazy thing. Okay, Tiff, I don't know if you understand this. Part of the reason I am Mont, a lot of people know me as another name. I have a different name, but my show name is Mont, is because back in the day, once I moved to Vegas,
catfished.
You're right. I got, Lord Jesus. And I knew in Vegas, I didn't want people like trying to be like, oh, you're in Vegas, I'd love to hang out. I'm like, I don't even want that. So when I got on social media, I literally made up a fake name. because I didn't want like people I went to high school with or people I knew.
Yeah.
Then it kind of stuck. And then when I started doing podcasts, it kind of stuck. Just for this reason. For a man to fly a woman out that he doesn't know that well, there's really only one reason why he's doing it. Ladies,
Absolutely.
men are not that nice.
No.
We are not that hospitable. There's always an ulterior motive. But let me again say this. If you take that trip, you ain't got to do a hot biscuit with Elroy. If he dumb enough to fly you out, upgrade you, have you a room and all that, wine and dine, if that's what you want to do, that is your right to do it. Now, like Tiff said, he's doing that with an expectation. Like that's, so, and we're saying that because I've seen now, I just saw something on Instagram where if this was real, there was an argument between the two people about expectations and all that. And she was like, I don't have to do nothing for you. He was like, you don't. But then he was like, but now you got to go. He was like, I'm going to take, you got to fly your way back. It was just, that's why I'm saying, like I said at the beginning, you do things the right way, you don't have to worry about that. I'm sorry, I ain't flying you out to the convocation. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what that's about. Like, well, it's the church. I'm sorry, I don't know you like that. I'm not going. No, we're not going.
No.
Yeah.
Now I have actually. Okay, so I met a gentleman in another city before, right? And him and I began to converse, and we build a little bit of a rapport. He lived not even in the city that I met him in. He lived in another state. He did offer to fly me out. To come have, to have a date with him, whatever. For me personally, but again, this is somebody that I had been speaking to, right?
Right.
That's something completely different. I'm not going anywhere with any stranger ever. And I wouldn't advise anyone to do that. Do y'all watch crime TV or not?
No,
okay, no.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. However, I will say for me personally, because I'm not interested in, he flew me out. You know what I mean? If there is any true interest on my part, okay, I'm going to fly myself out there. And the reason being is because if I get there and I feel uncomfortable in the least, I'm on my money. Okay, I got my own hotel room. I did whatever, and I don't have to be bothered at all. Nor do I have to feel the obligation of hanging out with someone just because they flew me out there, right? So in this one particular, case, there was interest there. So I flew myself out there to go, to go hang out. I declined, you don't have to fly me out. I'm gonna go do, if I'm interested at all to see anything, where it goes or whatever, I'm gonna fly myself out there. Now that's just me, okay? But I would highly suggest that you do not get flown out by a stranger. Like, there's so much happening right now, honestly.
No.
People are crazy.
And again, we're not talking about like people in a long distance relationship.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Where, you're working one, y'all try to work it out.
Yeah.
We're talking about like people are doing this with strangers.
Yes.
Like somebody you meet on Instagram. Do you know how insane that is? You lucky you're not getting chopped up and put in a suitcase, number one.
So, sex trafficked.
Yeah, like, hello. Yeah. I can't believe this is what we're talking about. I think, some people might not understand what we're talking about. I'm talking about somebody you met on Instagram a month ago, and you flying out to a city you don't know nobody in. And I can't even imagine. Like, again, I know the dating pool is kind of crazy, but fam, be careful. Ladies, please be careful. Fellas, be careful. Whatever, whoever. But I want to say it one more time. You as a woman are under no circumstances pressure to do anything. If it's vice versa, fellas, if you get flown out, you are not under any obligation. But again, I would suggest you, if you're somebody really, if you're an adult, if you're interested in a person, just go yourself. If you're meeting a central public location, hi, how you doing? Okay, meet at some function or something like that.
And 15 people had my location. I shared my location the entire time I was there. The entire time.
But I just can't get like, because it's not so much you'll see the story, it's the comments of like, I did that last week, this happened to me. I'm like, are y'all crazy?
Yeah, this is a thing. This is a real thing.
Listen, I've seen this Instagram, all that could be fake. You do not know who you really meet until you see them. Like, I'm sorry, trust me. So
no, people are not exactly who they post to be.
No, I like that. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
No.
So, okay, guys. Well, we're gonna wrap it up here. Hopefully, you've learned some things. We're gonna get back. Here's the thing. One of us is doing some big time things, so the availability has been limited a little bit, but that's about to change. You know, one of us has got a big time job and all important and mess and doing business in other states and junk and taking exams and all that. You know, one of us is. The other one of us is wearing a white t-shirt. But anyway.
Okay, now before we go, if I could just touch on something really fast.
Yeah.
Because you talked about you do have a t-shirt and your t-shirt has hand sanitizer on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfect.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
That's absolutely perfect.
We giving y'all a lot today. I forgot about that.
I'm sorry. We've had to endure Corona for the last few years, okay? And now we have Monkey Pox.
Jesus.
And this is spreading. And I don't know, it's feeling real Leviticus 13-ish. You know, I don't know. I just I'm afraid. I really am. Like, you know, especially as being, you know, church kid, we grew up here, you know, the end of this is feeling real end of time-ish. You know, it is very scary as to what is going on right now. So, you know, that hand sanitizer t-shirt is appropriate right now. Everybody continue to use your hand sanitizer, wash your hands, and, you know, stay away from people. You know, this is crazy.
First of all, Tiff, you was a straight hot mess. Why did you say Leviticus 13? Let me read y'all real quick. Let me read it how they used to read in church. And the Lord said, spake unto Moses, and Aaron said, when a man shall have in the skin of his flesh a rising, a scab or bright spot, and it be in the skin of his flesh like the plague of leprosy. Yeah, it's monkeypox here, man. I got my eye on it because put it like this: in the end days, like a third of the earth is going to be wiped out from famine. If you really read your Bible, Lord, don't let it happen in my lifetime, but something's going to happen to this earth where we're going to lose crops, people can't eat, and we're going to lose a lot of people. And plague is one of those, that's one of those things that happens. And yeah, I'm very aware of it. Again, we ain't really done with Corona. It's still out here too.
Yes, and Corona is still here. Like, right, but I think even though, you know, Corona had people knocking on death's door and actually had them transitioning over, for whatever reason, people were still, you know, not scared, right? But you would think that now these are lesions and boils and things on your face and all over your body. Keep your tail in the house. And this is the way that you can catch it is different. I mean, you can touch something and I can come behind you and touch it. And here I am with the monkeypox. I am scared.
There's a black lady, she says she thinks she got it from counting money. She's like a money counter at her job or something at a casino. And she said she might have touched it. Like, let me just say, monkeypox sounds terrifying. Like,
yes,
that just sounds scary, y'all. Like, I don't even know. Like, I mean, Corona, I was like, okay, like, what is it? What is it? A ear disease? I don't know what that means. But monkeypox sounds terrifying.
These monkeys been running crazy. You know about the monkey gang threw that baby over the, like, I don't want nothing to do with it.
Monkeys is vindictive. They got memory. They'll hurt you bad. So yeah, y'all, like, be careful. I don't even know, like, again, like I saw one of them woke brothers talking about it. He's like, yeah, monkeypox, where did it start? From some monkeys in a lab. Like, he started tracing back, like, all these diseases, I'd be so like, where did this junk really start from? What does it mean? But yeah, stay safe, y'all. Stay clean and healthy, because at some point, one of these things is gonna do some real damaging. You know, I mean, we already got wars and rumors of wars and stuff. It's a lot going on. It really is. But you know, we here. I wore the shirt just to,
it was appropriate.
That was a good transition.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else before we go?
No, I think that's it for now.
Yeah, I know. Tomorrow's another day, but yeah, we gave y'all a lot, but hopefully you got the gist of it. This is Channel 5. Of course, we got some more coming soon, and then there's so much to come on the We Seen It show, Shareholders podcast. If this is, well, that'll be tomorrow. Shareholders coming out, but yeah, guys, stay in touch with us. Of course, Mighty Sharp Network. We appreciate it, Tiff. Be safe. I know you got some good news going to be coming soon. Tiff doing a lot of stuff, y'all. She going to have to come on Shareholders, and we really want to talk about the business side because she doing, you know, she got the she doing a whole bunch of stuff. So
I'm trying.
yeah, we doing big things out here. But guys, we appreciate the support. As always, please be blessed. Stay sharp.
All right. It's Channel 5, y'all. Let's go. All right. Channel 5, not Channel 4. Bringing you what you ain't never heard before. Here we go. Press record. Get ready, we headed into the Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone, you ain't alone.